Hey, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a table in Excel. This is actually really useful if you're working with functions like the filter function. So without any further ado, let me show you how you can do it. Creating a table in Excel is really quite simple, and before I start I would just kindly ask that if you find this video informative or helpful at any point to please give it a like. So in order to create a table in Excel, the first step would be to select a cell that is in the data range that we want to be a part of the table. Once you've done that, go into the Insert tab and select Table. In the window that pops up, it automatically detected the range that contains the data, which is good. And we also are going to leave My Table Has Header selected. This just means that we want to include the table headers like city name, country, population, density. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And our table has now been created. You'll see over here there's now a tab called Table at the top. Some versions of Excel might say Design, and you'll see the same options under that tab as well. So I'm just going to give this table a name. Under Table Name, I'm going to call it Big Cities. A couple of interesting features in the Table tab would be the formatting options to the top right, so we can change the format of the table to help us visualize our data. Another interesting one would be Total Row. When I click on that, it'll add a row at the bottom with a total, and I can then select if I want to do an average, a count. So I'm just going to uncheck that because there's more rows I want to add to the table. And also, maybe of note for anybody following along, would be the convert to range option, just in case you're practicing and you don't actually want to keep your table. Just click a cell in the table, click convert to range, and it'll undo the table creation. Note the table is dynamic, so if I wanted to add a new row or column, the table will automatically expand to include that. So let me just change the format so I can demonstrate that more clearly. I'll scroll down and I'm just going to copy, let's say I copy Houston, and I'll just paste that in just to show that the table will automatically expand. Another way I can expand the table, I could add data manually. So just go to the bottom right cell, hit tab, and a new row is automatically added. Or if I wanted to, I can also just hover my mouse over the bottom right corner of the table and it will become a square, and I can drag down or out to add columns or rows to the table. Also, another cool thing, although maybe it's not that big a deal, but for me it's interesting anyways, is that the name of the columns automatically updates as they become out of view. So you can see over here, instead of A, B, C, D, I have the names of my columns. And the number one benefit why we would want to create a named table is so that we can reference it in a function. So I'm going to use the filter function as an example. So I'm going to type in equals filter. And the first argument is the array. So I could go and highlight or select the region I want, but in this case here, I'm just going to start typing in big cities. And as I do so, big cities actually becomes an option below the formula. So I'm just going to select that, and I'm specifying that we want to select this table as our array. And let's give it a criteria for the filter. So I'm going to say population greater than 10 million. Hopefully I typed that in, and then I'm going to put two quotations just for what to return in case it were empty, and close out my function. And there we go. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider giving me a thumbs up, subscribing to my channel. It would really mean a lot. It really does help me out. And thanks a lot for watching.